Okay, welcome to this great time where we're going to be talking about how to monetize your skill as an HR professional. To be sharing from my wealth of experience, over a decade experience, on how I have been able to monetize my skill as an HR professional. If I ask you, what does it mean to monetize? So let me get myself out of the frame so that we'll be able to see more of the presentation. So what does it mean to monetize? That's a question that needs to be answered on your mind. What does it mean to actually monetize? So to be able to monetize, we're talking about you being able to get cash, the ability to earn revenue. So any revenue from something is you being able to monetize a thing. Then it talks about making money from something. So take for example, I have a pen and I'm saying, how can I make money from me owning this pen? Okay, what if I start a rental program where I can allow people to use my pen for a fee? That's me monetizing my pen. In itself, the pen is not something you would typically monetize, but in actual sense, when I said I'm going to pay you 10 naira to use my pen for 1 minute, then at that point I've monetized my pen. If I have a space in front of my house and I say, okay, what if I get some retail people that can pay me for that space? That's me monetizing. So ability to earn revenue from something, or to be able to make money from something, that is what we're talking about. Monetize, ability to monetize. Then it's, you should recognize that the ability to earn money from something is a process. It's not something that's going to happen over time. You need an action plan. You need the ability to even identify what people will pay for, then being able to package this as a product, being able to find the right set of people that will pay for it, and the ability for those to be able to exchange that product for money, because you must be able to present it before them. So it's a process. So what we're doing today is not an overnight conversation. It's a conversation that is going to transcend the whole of the new year, meaning that we're in the new year. It's a fresh start. It means that your ability to be able to create a process of monetization. Yes, HR professional, you can be an HR professional as your day job. What are some other things that you can create a process around that can make you an extra stream of income? Remembering the fact that we're in the gig economy, according to Future of Jobs report, it means that we are in the age where freelancers will become the order of the day. Remote work has become part and parcel of the work life. So it means, what if I'm able to create a little extra stream of income into what I currently do in my 9 to 5 and be able to generate income from them? So I'm going to be taking you through, so how do I now monetize? So if you say you want to do a monetization, so how do I go about the monetization, which is the critical point that we need to recognize. So how do I monetize? So I have this skill, which you're going to be looking at a list of skills in a couple of minutes. I have these skills. How do I monetize it? What are the process I need to go through to be able to monetize? So what are the things that I need to do? I'm going to be going through them now. One, you need to discover. So it's a three-pronged approach. It's a three-part process. The first thing is to be able to discover. It is very difficult for you to monetize what you have not discovered. So if a skill is yet to be discovered, there's no way you're going to monetize it, because you need to recognize that it is there in the first place. Then you can be able to, you need to identify that skill. So what are you good at? By skill, I mean an ability to perform a specific task or activity to a high level of proficiency. For any individual to be able to pay you to do something for them, it means you are good at doing it. So if I talk about, I like knowledge sharing. One of the reasons why we're having this live stream session at this time is because I love knowledge sharing. I do not like to hoard my knowledge. So I'm currently monetizing invariably by telling you about how to monetize knowledge, because I'm currently sharing a knowledge with you now. So if I choose to record this session at this time, and I choose to give it out at a fee later, that's me monetizing my knowledge, because I'm currently doing this live stream so that I can tell you how to monetize your knowledge. So for me to be very good, so I'm speaking now, it can be a skill to me. I've become very good at it. As a matter of fact, I've been teaching for free for a long time. So the very first time somebody decided to give me a check of 25,000 at an event I did in a religious organization, and I'm not sure I had actually spoke for more than 1 hour, and I was given a check of 25,000. It looked like very big money for me, because I enjoy knowledge. I enjoy sharing knowledge. So for somebody to pay me for that knowledge, you're saying, are you serious? So for somebody to pay me 25,000 to speak for less than 1 hour, it means there are more people out there that will be willing to pay me even for that skill, because I can do it to a certain level of proficiency. Then you need to make a list. So what are the list of skills that you can actually monetize? List of skills people can pay you for. I'm going to be walking you through some highlighted list right away, and I'll tell you how I have been able to monetize some of them, and maybe you can be able to have a light bulb experience that you also can be able to see one or two of them that you yourself will be willing to monetize on your own site. So what are some of those lists? Number one, writing. Yes, it looks interesting. Your ability, some of you are very good at writing, to the point at which you can author a book, and people can actually pay you to have it back. As a matter of fact, I have a book published, Corporate Misfit, Immutable Career Lessons for Fresh Graduates. So that's a book I wrote in 2015. Interestingly, the story of me writing my book was after the third time I lost my job. So after the third time I lost my job, I asked myself the question, so this is the third time I'm losing my job. So what can I do that people will pay me for? What am I so good at? And writing was one of them. Far back 2012 or thereabout, 2010, 2012 thereabout, I've been writing for Jobberman. I think it was 2011. I started writing for Jobberman for free, pro bono. And I was writing on job search tips. I was doing a lot of recruitment at that time. I saw experiences of recruiters and issues, mistakes that job seekers were making, and I started to put all of them into a writing. Then somehow down the line, when I lost my job in 2014 for the third time, I asked myself the question, so what can I do out of this writing that I've been doing for free for close to this time? I wrote for Jobberman, I wrote for Ventures Africa. Then at a point, I started to write for the Punch newspaper in the iPunch column on social recruiting. And all of this was owning my writing skill. And I asked myself the question, so I want to do self-employment. Why don't I put all of the things I have written on a free blog into a book? And here am I. I have a book published in 2015, and the book is bringing what we call passive income for me. So earlier in the year, I still have some copies of the book, and an organization approached me and said they are trying to do a 12 weeks employability session for a graduate accelerator program. And they said, do you still have copies of your book? And I said, yes. They paid for copies of the book 5 years after I published the book. They paid for copies of the book for all of the 60 people that they had in the session for 12 weeks. And I was showing up from the comfort of my house to teach them on employability just by a passive income of my book. That's one thing, writing. Then very related to that is blogging. Some of you are very good when it comes to blogging. Blogging is related to writing. So writing can be offline. The other part to writing is having ghostwriters. So take for example, I'm a busy executive. I need to write a book. And you're very good. Yes, your 9 to 5 is HR, but you can actually be a ghostwriter. You can choose to volunteer your skill to help somebody put a book together for publishing, and you'll be paid for it. You can do editing and be paid for it. Then you can actually go a step further by having a blog, by having your own website. I have a website, shegunakode.com. that I feature most of my writing on. And as I said, it became part of my book at a point. So you can start to blog. It's part of your personal branding that someone can choose to pay you for, related to writing. Also is coaching. So take for example, when I'm done with this session, I'm sure a few individuals will be asking me the question. So Shegun, do you have a process where I can tend to identify my skill and start to monetize it? So I have you covered. At the end of the session, I'm going to be telling you about what I'm having in mind to do, to have a sort of a boot camp where I will take you through how to identify your skills and how you can start to monetize. So I can choose to be a coach in that area. As a matter of fact, I do career coaching. One of the interesting things that if you check the description of this YouTube video, you would be able to see a 30-minute free career clarity session that I usually offer. Now, some individuals tend to do the 30-minute career clarity session and they tend to pay for me to coach them. As a matter of fact, earlier today, I was having a conversation with somebody that is going to be retaining my coaching services for the entire year, meaning I can actually coach you on what I know. I'm very good in compensation and benefit, very good in analytics. You want me to coach you? Yes, I can pay you. What are you so good at that people can pay you a dime for? Some individuals are currently enjoying those things for free now. Why can you create a process around it that you can start to monetize that particular skill? Very closely related also is podcasting. Yes, about 2014 as well, I started to podcast. Podcast is an audio version. So we're having a video and a live session now. Podcast is you recording your audio and releasing it as audio files. It's a podcast. So while I published my book, I asked myself the question, so how do I get known such that people will start to hear about me, and through that means I can sell my book? So I started a podcast, which I still have to today, Career and Employability Talk. And I was releasing published articles for free, audio files for free. As at the last time I checked, I think I have about 78 audios at the moment. And earlier last year, 2020, I moved that podcast into Anchor. And Anchor gave me an opportunity to create a sponsorship program, meaning they can actually put a sponsored ad in my podcast and I will be paid for it. People will just listen to the podcast and I get paid. So I monetized my podcast last year. As no matter how small it is, there are a few dollars that are dropping in my hard account on Anchor as we speak, just from podcasting. Then very closely related to that as well is when we're talking about speaking. So we're talking about speaking engagement. It's a skill. You're very good at it. People can pay you to speak. So since the lockdown of 2020, I started to take note of the numbers of speaking engagement on Zoom that I've had cause to have. And little, I started to track how much was coming in from that. And a certain month I looked at it and it was running into 7 figures. And I said, just by sitting down for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour each day, there are days when for a whole 1 week, I'm speaking, I'm facilitating, and I'm being paid from the comfort of my home. That's a skill that you can actually be paid for as an HR professional, irrespective of how it is. It's closely related to facilitation. So when I look at speaking and facilitation alone, last year during the lockdown, it brought in a lot of cash for me just by sitting in the comfort of my home. So are you very good at facilitation? You can volunteer to be a facilitator, either online or offline. And closely related to each of this is you can now begin to create what we call online courses. So if I package everything we're discussing now into an online course, yes, close to 200 people registered to attend the session live at the moment. And what it means is that if they are not able to show up and I say, okay, pay a fee to have access to it, that's an online course itself, just by combining your ability to speak very well, to record, and to be able to create videos for that same thing. And it's the same thing. YouTube is also a very interesting one. So there's a YouTube monetization program that if you're good at producing videos, you can actually monetize at the level of YouTube. Now, an interesting story that is very critical for me to mention is the fact that I've had my YouTube channel for a while and I've not been too serious, let me use it that way. But during the lockdown of 2020, I started to take my YouTube channel serious. And do you know what happened? By December, as a matter of fact, it's official now. In a couple of days, you're going to be seeing some new videos that I just secured a corporate sponsorship for my YouTube channel. So what it means is that this organization approached me and said, okay, Segun Akeode, so you're doing YouTube. What's the purpose of your YouTube channel? So how long have you been doing this? What's your target audience? How many follower count do you have? Can you and any other HR people doing YouTube in Nigeria? And I said, so I actually was cracking to find any other YouTube channel that was being HR dedicated in Nigeria. I couldn't find any. And they said, sorry, we're gonna be picking you up. We're gonna be paying you that at least twice every single month. You're going to be producing 2 videos for us. It's going to sit on your channel and we're going to pay you X amount of money for it. And I said, what am I looking for? I've been doing this YouTube channel for free. And yeah, doom, I have a corporate sponsor and I'm open for more corporate sponsorship that would come up. So that's me monetizing my ability to use YouTube. So consulting is something that is very big. Are you very good at a certain area of HR that people can pay you to consult for? So I'm very good in compensation and benefit. And I can tell you for free that between 2015 and now that I went full-time in my own consulting outfit, I've done a lot of independent consulting projects. If I choose to show you my profile of the numbers of projects I've worked with in the last 5 years, it's almost like 20 years experience for some individuals, because I am known for compensation and benefit. I get a lot of HR directors referring other HR directors that I've worked with, referring others to me to say, you want to do anything on compensation and benefit, job evaluation, salary survey, Segun is your person. And I get to do that just by consulting. I know someone, a very good friend that is very good in a certain area, and recently she released an audiobook that she sells. So she packaged one of the teaching engagements she has had into an audiobook and people pay her for it. That's you monetizing what you have. Then the aspect around digital skills. Digital skills is broad. I'm very good. I can teach you how to podcast. So if you want me to teach you how to podcast, I can teach you. If you want me to teach you how to set up your YouTube channel, I can take you through. As a matter of fact, this session we're currently having is being powered by a live streaming software called StreamYard. That's not a paid advertisement, as a matter of fact, but if StreamYard choose to pay, I can advertise them on the session. So I have to learn how to use them. So that takes me to the next point. Digital skill is broad. There's so many digital skills that you can monetize. You can teach people how to create audiobooks. You can teach people how to create PDF files, how to do ebooks. Are you very good in graphics? Yes. There are some websites that you can offer your service for a fee, and you can earn from the comfort of your room, even from working from home. It doesn't take anything. You setting up the system and start to earn from it. Then there are some other skills that you are very good at. Say, for example, I know a few HR professionals that do cake making. So over the weekend, they are busy making cakes for people. That's them monetizing their skill. Some others are very good when it comes to event management. I even met a particular HR professional that is a DJ. So what that means is that when you have an event, you can come and do the DJ for live. And those are other events, other skills that you can actually monetize. Then after you have discovered, you need to go to the point of developing that skill. If you do not develop the skill that has been identified, then it's going to become dormant, which is where the critical point is. You need to own your skill to perfection or near perfection. So for somebody to pay you to write, if you're an author, for example, or you want to do ghostwriting, you must be very good. If you're to do editing, you must be very good that I'll say, okay, if I give you that money, then it's worth my time. If you are very good with speaking engagement, you must get so good So say, for example, you know how to do PowerPoint presentation. You must get so good to the point at which somebody is willing to pay you for it. You know how to do CV writing. Beautiful. There are a lot of people. How do you stand yourself out that I can give it to you that you'll be so good at CV writing that somebody will be able to pay you for it? So there was a testimony that someone was sharing with me earlier today. Sometime last year, she signed up for one of my paid coaching session, and I helped her to review her CV at the end of the session. And she has been trying to leave her current role for like 5 years. And to cut the long story short, we reviewed her CV. We tweaked a few things in the approach to her leaving her job, and she got a new job during the lockdown, and she resumed before the end of the year 2020. And she was sharing with me earlier today, and I said, wow, this is wonderful. So that's a testimonial. So if I tell you that I'm going to help you to transit from whatever career you are currently in into anyone you want to get to, you're going to pay me for it because I already have testimonials. This is me owning my skill. I've done a lot of free coaching session to the point at which I get better. I do free audio session. I get better at it and better and better. I do video editing. That's actually something that I do. So some of the things that I'm currently doing, I'm doing everything from the beginning to the end myself. That's a skill I have gotten better and better at, such that I can teach any individual that is interested, that want to start to do this for a fee. Then you need practice to get to develop your skill. You need dedication, and you need money. There are some things you will get for free on Google, no doubt. There are some things you will get for free on YouTube. I learned a lot of things on YouTube. And there are some things you would need to pay for to be able to enjoy. Take, for example, about the same time when I wanted to take my YouTube channel very serious last year, I decided to pay someone to be part of a YouTube bootcamp. And by virtue of being part of the YouTube bootcamp, I got better at producing YouTube videos. I got better at editing. It's almost like a workstation here. So currently, I have 2 laptops connected together for this presentation. I learned it on YouTube. Those are things that you can get for free. Then some other things I needed to pay for. I needed to know that if I need to take my YouTube game to the next level, I would need to pay for it. Take, for example, I'm using this particular microphone that I'm using at the moment. I had to pay for it. It was not free. I bought it on Amazon. I don't need to tell you the amount. I bought it close to, I think, how much did I think I paid for it in pounds. I can't remember. There are some things you're going to get for free. If you want to take video as an example, there are some levels of opting your game you would need to pay for. But at the start, your phone is as good as doing the videos. Interestingly, I don't currently have a supercharged camera. Most of my YouTube channels, most of my YouTube videos that are pre-recorded that you see are done from my phone. But you would never know because I opted their lighting systems. This is me paying to get better at my skills, so that if I say you should pay for it, you would be able to pay for it. So that means for you to develop your skill, you need help. You may not be able to do it alone. I had to pay somebody to teach me how to do YouTube videos. I had to go through, I did some free ones on YouTube. As a matter of fact, you attending this session now, it's not free. You're using your data to stream this session. So it's not free. It's part of the dedication. And there's something very critical, that the skill that you develop must have a market need, which is very critical, which is the final point, is deploying your skill. Your ability to deploy your skill after you have identified them, you have discovered them, you have developed them, and you now need to deploy to the market. So that's talking about your go-to-market strategy. So now that I've developed the skill, how will people discover it? So which of your skills are you monetizing? You can't monetize everything. You may need to start from one. So am I monetizing my ability to do very good YouTube videos? Am I monetizing my ability to speak very well? Am I monetizing my ability to edit recordings for people, either video recording, or to do ghostwriting, or to consult, or to speak, or to facilitate, or to do a podcast, or do voiceover? People have been telling you that when they speak to you on the phone, you speak so well. You can do voiceover. You can be a voiceover artist. As a matter of fact, I got last year, I was saying I wanted to write a new book, and I'm already getting more comfortable speaking into the microphone and recording my voice and recording myself. And somebody said she does transcription, meaning I can send an audio file, a video file, and they transcribe it into written notes, and I can now publish that into a book. So I'm currently doing that now. So what I need to do is to find time, I record the things I want to say, and I send it as an audio file to that person, and the person transcribe. So what is your skill that you are trying to monetize? Then who are your target audience? So I'm actually doing this session for HR professionals, simply because HR professionals are so let me say busy doing the day-to-day work that there are some other part of them that is crying for expression. So I noticed that I'm multi-talented. Aside the HR things I do, YouTube videos is what I do at my leisure, audio podcast. So it's me trying to monetize. And I know that for me to be in that situation where I want to monetize, there's some other things I'm doing. I want to have extra streams of income. I know there are a lot of HR people that would be interested in doing that. So when I sent this out some couple of days ago, and to my surprise, over 200 people said they were interested. It meant that there are a lot of individuals that are interested in monetizing their skill, and we're doing this now. So you need to recognize your target audience. How much would you charge them? At the moment, this session is free. But if you want to up your game and you want to learn everything I've discussed and you want to take it to a level of perfection, then you'll be willing to pay for it. How would they find you? If you want to monetize your skill, people need to be able to find you. So I have a website. It's part of your personal branding, because you must be able to build a personal brand that will sell. So when the individuals, when I mentioned the Segun Akiode brand, one thing that comes to mind is compensation and benefit, HR analytics. YouTube is getting into the game now. That is just the personal brand that can sell. You need to be able to build a personal brand that can sell. In order to sign up for the Monetize Your Skills Bootcamp, kindly book a session using the link being displayed on your screen right away, or check in the description below for the link. I will see you in the bootcamp.